Creating your signature chops. Once you've done your sketches on your Adobe Draw app, you're going to go ahead and choose the one you like best and draw it out on just any loose leaf paper. I made sure that I did it in pencil first, and then I went over it in one of my daughter's washable markers. So please go over it in any drawing pen, marker that will bleed. So one that's not permanent, we want one that's water soluble. The first thing we need to do is set our sketches aside and grab our bag of clay. Open it up. Use your dental floss to cut a thin chunk of clay off. From here, I only need to cut a small portion. It's helpful if you're working on a surface like a piece of cardboard or even a brown trash bag, just to keep your surface clean. So you can see I just cut off a little chunk, and I actually can make it even a little bit smaller. So this is about 2.5 to 3 inches long and about 3/4 of an inch thick. So I just have this kind of cube piece right now. I'm gonna take the extra clay, I'm gonna put it back on my chunk of big clay. Woo. And I'm gonna seal the bag tightly. I wanna make sure that I squeeze out as much air as I can and that those zips are really nice and tightly closed. So to create any stamps, and this chop stamp in particular, we're gonna take that piece of clay and we're going to shape it into a carrot shape, is what we call. So I can roll it here on my surface, or I can roll it in my hands, and I can keep one side more narrow and the other side thicker. So I'll start to kind of smush the one end while keeping the other end tapered. So I'm trying to achieve this shape because I chose a design that had a rectangular format. So I'm gonna just kind of roll. The clay is a little bit sticky, but that's good because we want it to stay really soft. And I will start to shape my rectangle. Now I need it to be about the size of my sketch. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my table here. Tapping will give me a wider surface area. So I'll just kind of tap, 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 and force the clay down. And I will smooth and shape the body of the stamp. You'll be able to make the stamp the carrot, decorative as well, as you saw in the worksheet that breaks down the steps for this assignment. So once I feel like I have enough surface area for my design, it's not perfectly flat. So what I'm gonna do is give it a clean cut and make it as flat as I can so that I have a smooth surface to carve my design. So I can do that with either my plastic knife or my floss. I'm actually gonna use my floss, and I'm gonna pull it tight between my fingers, and I'm going to very carefully cut straight down, pull away, and I get a nice clean cut. So this looks pretty great. I'll just smooth the edges. And you can tell that it's very sticky. So what we're going to do is transfer this design. So I'm gonna line it up. I'm going to press. It's almost like a little temporary tattoo, I say. The moisture from the clay is going to pull the ink off of the paper and transfer it just like a little temporary tattoo. You can peek and see that it worked. So that's perfect. Now, I want to let this get a little bit more firm before I start carving. So this is step 1 to prep our signature stamps, and we will create our texture stamps exactly the same way. So I'm going to set this aside for a little bit. I'm going to keep a close eye on it and come back when it's not so sticky. This one has only been out for maybe 45 minutes and it's already almost ready. So maybe in about an hour, I'll come back and start carving that.